Namo Buddhaya. I read this amazing Native American parable that gives a deep message about our minds, and I'm going to share it with you today. The story starts like this. A grandfather teaching life lessons to his grandson once said, "There is a battle going inside my head, son, and that battle is between two wolves. One wolf is evil. His anger, resentment, jealousy, hatred, inferiority, superiority, and negativity. And the other wolf is good. His kindness, compassion, love, humility, joyfulness, and positivity." In each and every one of our heads, there are these two wolves fighting this battle to take control over our life. Then the grandson thought for a moment and asked from his grandfather, "Well, Grandpa, who wins this battle?" Then this old grandpa looked into his grandson's eyes and smiled and said, "Well, my son, the one who wins is the one who you feed." Ladies and gentlemen, throughout the day, throughout the life, we keep feeding these two wolves in our mind. The more we feed the negative side of our mind, these thought patterns will become more powerful. And it goes to the other way the same. If we keep feeding our minds with love and compassion and generosity, with the positive thoughts, these thought patterns will become more powerful. See, we become more serious about the quality of the food that we put into our bellies. But very few of us will become more serious about the quality of the thoughts that we put into our minds. And that is why the Buddha said, "Guard your mind against all evil thoughts. Cultivate wholesomeness by avoiding all evil thoughts from your mind." The wise people are the ones who are truly self-controlled. So we need to be more serious about what we feed into our thoughts, same like we become serious about what we feed into our bodies. So keep in mind to feed the positive side of your life. No matter how good we are, no matter how talented we are, there are certain times in life we are going to make mistakes. We are going to mess things up in life. In such times, one of the most common things that we do is we hate ourselves. And this self-hatred can end up in serious situations like suicide. See how many times we say, "I love you" to someone. How often we say? We say it often, right? But how often we say, "I love myself. I appreciate who I am"? This is something that we don't do oftenly. See, in Buddhist practice, the first step of spreading love and kindness is to practice love and kindness, or spread love and kindness to yourself. So the Buddha saw that without being filled with self-love and self-kindness, you cannot be kind to someone else. So that is why we have to learn how to be kind and how to love ourselves without hating ourselves. So from this video, I'm going to be sharing with you a few things that we have to understand and we have to practice to stop hating ourselves and to start appreciating and loving our life. Number 1, do not believe in labels. See, there are lots of labels that we have put on ourselves. For an example, your name. Your name is a label that was given by maybe your parents, and everyone started to call from that name, and it became your personality. It became who you are. Okay? Same like that, we are so good at labeling ourselves with our imperfections, with our mistakes, or with our incapabilities. But here's the thing, the more we label ourselves with our incapabilities, for an example, people say to themselves, like, I am a person who is being angry all the time. Okay, I'm a person who has having a weak mindset. I'm a person who is lazy all the time. Okay, I don't have any friends. I'm not getting in with friends. Okay, I cannot be with these people. So the more you label like that yourself, it becomes your personality. And that is why we should not believe in the labels that we put on ourselves. Why? Because a label, or your incapabilities, or your weaknesses, or your mistakes are just a thought pattern. And it is always can be changed. Okay? You can always improve. And that is why we should not label ourselves with our incapabilities and our mistakes or from our weaknesses. We always have the chance to improve and to evolve. Number 2, learn to accept mistakes. Mistakes are the proof that says that we are trying in life and we are not willing to give up on ourselves. Every great person in this world has made mistakes, and they have learned from their mistakes, and that is how they evolved, and that is how they achieved the greatness. Always remember, the mistakes will never define your character unless you define your character with your mistakes. So do not let your mistakes to define your character. Always you have the chance to improve and move on and make yourself a good person and improve yourself. Believe in it. Number 3, stop criticism. This is something that is very important that we have to focus on in loving ourselves. Stop criticizing yourself. Stop criticizing others. Now here I'm not talking about the constructive criticism. I'm talking about the negative criticism, okay? Do not criticize others, and also do not criticize yourself, okay? Why we should not criticize others? To put others down? In each and every time when we criticize someone, we give the message to our mind that we are better than them, okay? I am perfect than them. And you set standards to yourself. Most of the time, these are not realistic standards, okay? And when we cannot live up to our own standards, what happens to us? We hate ourselves. And that is how criticism steals the self-love and the self-value. And that is why we should not criticize anyone. And number 4, believe that imperfection is beautiful. Just take a deep breath and look into this nature. Everything has that one nature that is the imperfection. From the little plant to the great mountain, everything is imperfect, right? There is no perfectly symmetrical plant in this world. There is no perfectly symmetrical mountain in this world. Everything has the imperfection. And as humans, we also imperfect human beings, okay? And also that gives the chance, it gives the chance for us to evolve. It gives the chance for us to be more productive and be more successful. See, becoming successful and becoming happy is not a destination. It is not a perfection, right? It is always a journey. We have to keep improving ourselves. We have to keep becoming successful, becoming happy. It is a journey that we go through in this life. So when you accept the imperfections, no matter how good we are, no matter how talented we are, no matter how great we are, there will be always imperfections in life. When we accept it, we can focus our kindness and our love towards ourselves. And also, every single day, this is something that you can practice. When you wake up in the morning, just sit on the bed and think, no matter how imperfect I am, no matter what mistake that I do in my life, I'm not going to give up on myself, right? I keep improving myself. I keep making myself a good person, a happier person, and I will never let go of myself. This is not something that is called selfishness. Selfishness is expecting many unrealistic things from yourself. Right? And then when you're not up to your standards, you start to hate yourself. And that is why When you truly love yourself, truly love your imperfections, and truly love who you are and accept who you are, you get the chance to improve and you get the chance to evolve. And these are the things that we have to keep in mind in order to practice the self-love and improve the self-value. So keep practicing these things and make your life happier and healthier. I want to share with you one of the most inspirational and one of the most controversial statements from the Buddha. The Buddha said, Attahi attano nato kohi nato parosya. Attanahi sudantena nathang labati dullabha. The Buddha said, Attahi attano nato, oneself is one's own refuge. Kohi nato parosya, how can another person becomes the refuge of another person? With enough self-discipline, right? With thorough self-discipline, one can attain one's own refuge. Now, in life, sometimes we wait for other people to come and change our life, come and save our life. But the Buddha says that this is a sad news, but it is the truth, that no one is coming to save you but yourself. No one can save you but yourself, right? And that is what Buddha teaches you. Try to save yourself by yourself. Now, even the Buddha said, even I cannot save you. I'm not your salvator. The Buddha said that I'm not your salvator. I cannot save you. I can show you the path. I'm a teacher. I'm the guider, but I cannot ascend you to your happiness. I cannot take you to your happiness. The Buddha said that what I have done is showing you the path, right? But by yourself, through yourself, you have to walk the path alone. And that is why in Buddhism, it is all about exploring who you are through yourself, by yourself, okay? And that is why we have to remember that we are all alone in this world. There is no one that can save us. There are people who can help us. There are people who can guide us, but there is a limit. For an example, if you are going through a tough time in life, let's say you are having anxiety or depression, people can help you. People can tell you what to do and what not to do, and they can guide you. But by yourself, by all means, by yourself, you have to deal with that problem. You have to go through that situation and you have to heal yourself. And that is why I believe, in Buddhism believe, that there is nothing in this life that can destroy you other than your thoughts, and there is nothing in this world that can save you and that can heal you other than your thoughts and how you live in your life. And that is why in Buddhism, it is more given a big space about the self-discipline, to be self-disciplined and to practice it and to explore who you really are. So always remember that no one is coming to save you but yourself. No one can save you but yourself. Keep this in your mind and keep practicing the good things. I want to talk about something really important for all of our lives, especially in these days. And that is the things that we should not speak with others, according to Buddha's teachings. Now, at first, you might be thinking, well, I'm not a Buddhist, so why should I care about these things? Here's the thing. These principles can be applied to anyone's life, regardless of their religion or belief system. So that is why these speeches are called 4 unwholesome speeches. That is what Buddha said about these speeches. 4 unwholesome speeches. So without any further ado, let's dive in. First of all, we have lying. Now Buddha said, stay away from lying. Now I know we all have said white lies here and there in all of our lives, right? But whether it is a white lie, whether it is a black lie, gray lie, or a red lie, no matter what the lie is, lying itself can be so harmful for all of our lives. Why is that? When you lie, it destroys your trust. When you lie, it destroys your character, right? So that is why it is very important to have trust between people. In our daily relationships between people, the most important component of a happy relationship is the trust. So that is why Buddha said, live a truthful life. And it is very important to have that transparency and honesty in our relationships. So the first thing that we have to stay away from is lying. And next we have divisive speech. What do you mean by divisive speech? Divisive speech is all about creating drama between people or creating conflicts between people using your words, right? It can be gossiping or it can be talking behind someone's back, right? I must say that when you talk these words or when you use this divisive speech, it is not a good thing for your life. And also it is not a good thing for other people's relationships. So Buddha said, do not use this divisive speech. Do not break the relationships between people using your words. Most of the time, we use the divisive speech out of jealousy or out of anger. So that is why it's very important to stay away from divisive speech. And the third one is, Buddha said, stay away from harsh speech. Now, when someone is calling you or when someone is treating you with rude words, how do you feel? Now, we all have been in this receiving end of such speeches, no? How did you feel? We felt sad, we felt depressed, we felt down about ourselves. So that is why Buddha said, do not use your words to put someone down, right? Do not use your words out of anger. This is all about criticizing and name calling and putting someone else down with your words, right? So Buddha said, stay away from harsh speech. And finally, Buddha said, stay away from idle chatter. What do you mean by idle chatter? Idle chatter is all about speaking meaningless or useless things, right? Now, that doesn't say that we cannot have a small chat or a fun talk with people. We can do that, but we have to know where our limit is in our speech, right? We have to set the boundaries in our speech, right? We have to know where our speech become unproductive, right? When you use these words, when you use your words in a meaningful way, you can create a positive life. And you can create a positive emotions or positive feelings in others' lives too, right? So these are the 4 unwholesome speeches that we have to stay away from, that our great teacher Supreme Buddha taught us according to the Buddha's teachings, right? So why all these things matter? Why these unwholesome speeches matter in our life? Well, Buddha said, the words that we speak can create either positive or negative karma in our life. Do not think lightly about this karma, right? You have to be very careful about the karma. So the intention behind your words really matters in your life. And that is why we have to use our words wisely, because it can make a huge impact in our lives as well as in others' lives too. So words that we speak are like a knife, right? You can use the knife to cut something useful, right? And also you can use the knife to kill someone else. So let's use our words to create a better life for ourselves and for others. So thank you for tuning in. I hope you got some food for thought for your life. So until next time, I wish you all, may all of you be well and happy, and may all of you live in peace forever. I want to share with you some meditation tips and some mindsets that we should develop while we're sitting to meditation. Now, one of the most difficult things when we are doing meditation is to keep going the meditation. That means to do it every single day. Okay, it is very easy to start meditating. It is very easy to start a session of meditation, but it's very, very difficult to maintain it continuously, to do it every single day. Okay, these are the problems that most of the time many meditators struggle with. They say like, okay, I cannot meditate every day. Maybe I don't enjoy sometimes doing it. So there are some mindsets that you should practice and you should develop before sitting to the meditation to keep it going. So from this video, we are going to discuss about it. So without any further ado, let's dive in. The first mindset that you should develop when sitting to the meditation is to have less expectations. I know that when we are sitting to meditation, we all like to have a mind of concentration and calmness and peacefulness. But it does not come overnight. It does not come in one practice or one take. It takes a long time for our mind to get into that level. So think of your mind like a baby who is learning to walk. So give yourself a good time and sit down to the meditation with very less expectations. And then you can expect maybe like 0.01% progress from one session of meditation. And just be calm and be patient and let your mind to be in the progress. Okay, so that is how that you can keep on doing the meditation. Then you can enjoy the meditation, because when we have big expectations and when our minds cannot live up to that expectation, then you will never be able to enjoy doing meditation, because your mind is not becoming what you have expected. So sit to the meditation with very less expectations. The second mindset that we all have to develop while sitting to the meditation is to take a good time. Now, one of the advices that we have given while meditating and when we are sitting to the meditation is to think of yourself like you have time forever. So when you have those other plans in your mind, it's really difficult to meditate. And that is why it is much better to set a timer to meditate. And during that time, you can be fully relaxed and think like, I don't have anything to do but just to meditate, but just to focus on my breath, or just to be aware and mindful about my body and my mind. And when you do that, it creates a peaceful and a comfortable environment for you to meditate. So as the second tip, take a good time and take good free time to meditate. The third mindset that we have to develop is to let it come and let it go. Now, what do you mean by this? Now, sometimes when we meditate, it is not always possible to be concentrated and to be focused. Sometimes your mind becomes distracted by some other thoughts. But I would say, as long as you're mindful and if you're aware of your thoughts, let it come, okay? And observe it. Don't go behind it. Don't try to chase behind it. Just observe that it is a thought. Observe and identify it as a thought, and then just let it go. Okay? It's something like this. It's not as easy as you think, but if you keep on doing it and if you try to do it, you will be good at it. It is something like this. It's like you're watching a traffic pass by. Okay? You're sitting beside the road and you're watching a traffic pass by. There are vehicles and there are vans and bicycles and buses you pass by. You are not trying to stop these vehicles. You're not trying to chase behind these vehicles. Just you sit by the road and just watch it. Okay? So we don't want to force our mind, or we don't want to force our thoughts to stop it or do anything kind of like that. The best thing is to observe it. Okay? Let it come and observe and identify it as just it is a thought and let it pass away. Okay? When you do that, it's very easy for you to keep on doing meditation, because sometimes when distracting thoughts or distracting sounds and like people, when you hear certain sounds and thoughts, when you feel those things, you try to fight with it. Okay, you try to struggle with it and you think, oh, this is a distraction. Okay, as long as you focus on the distraction and as long as you focus and you think like it is a trouble, it will always be a trouble. So that is why you should let your distracting thoughts come and identified it, don't be panicked, just let it go. Okay, that is one way to be, and that is one way to practice meditation very peacefully and happily. And last but not least, the final practice and final mindset that we have to maintain during meditation is to be gentle with yourself. Like I said before, think yourself like a little babies. When we all step into meditation, we all are like babies, little babies who are learning how to walk. Okay, so think of a baby. We are not forcing the baby to walk. Okay, we're not